Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block, and I'm here with another weekly tip and idea on creating an indoor space that truly supports your health and wellness, but also the health and wellness of your family. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today is kids and how do we create these healthy habits and instill in them the healthy ideas of creating a healthy house so that they can carry that on throughout the future. So I have 3 kids of my own. I have currently a 10-year-old, an almost 8-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old at home. And we work really hard to instill healthy habits in our kids, not necessarily just do all the work for them. We like to include them in some of the reasoning as to why we do the things we do at home. I will share that it has gotten a little bit more difficult as my girls have gotten older. A 10-year-old is getting near those preteen years and they have a lot of opinions on what they want, and so we are working through that as well, and I have some ideas on how to kind of help reduce toxins with tweens on my blog. We've talked about skincare and makeup before because those are big things, especially with girls, and they're great places that we can reduce toxins, but it almost has to be okay with your kids before you do it. They can sometimes dictate some of those changes that we make as a family. So that's what we're talking about this week, is how to reduce toxins in your kids' spaces in a way that includes them in all of the fun.
So raising healthy kids can be one tough job in the world that we live in today. And while it appears that there are so many positive, healthy practices around us, the truth is that many of us are at the mercy of our kids when it comes to changing lifestyle and habits in our homes. And the goal really is to create a lifestyle and an indoor space that promotes health and wellness, but at the same time, it's also important to create a lifestyle and space that everyone enjoys. And while kids are moldable and teachable in ways that many adults may not be, they are also little humans who will stand their ground for what they want. And in truth, I think that it can become more difficult the older kids get because they see habits and items that perhaps other families have. So of course, it can be an amazing teaching opportunity to talk about why your family may reduce certain toxins in various ways, but it still doesn't change the fact that kids may feel left out or ostracized because of those differences. I know that I want my kids to be surrounded by as few toxins as possible, but that doesn't mean I restrict them from anything with potential toxins. It means we reduce toxins wherever we can, and sometimes we let small things be, because stressing my kids out over toxins is really never my goal. I'm here to raise them and to teach them and to protect them, which is exactly what is covered here today. So kids are just not miniature adults, and I've mentioned it on here before. Our systems are fully developed and capable of filtering out toxins while protecting other organs from being affected, and children, on the other hand, have an undeveloped blood-brain barrier that allows many toxins to pass through without getting filtered out. Children also have thinner and less dense skin and skeletal systems. So this means that toxins can be absorbed at a more efficient rate in comparison to adults. And if you have kids, you know that kids have a much different hand-to-mouth habit in general in comparison to us as adults. I am praying that I am not the only parent asking my kids to keep their hands off of their faces and out of their mouths on a consistent basis, but it's this habit that creates the perfect avenue for toxin exposure as they ingest toxic house dust more frequently than anybody else in the home. Toxins inside that affect kids on a much larger scale can be avoided sometimes. And so anywhere that we can reduce them is going to make our home healthier and better for our family. So we're going to look at some of the big toxins. So flame retardants are added to textiles, to mattresses, to rugs, and then other components around your space. Flame retardants have been shown to increase the likelihood of aggression and defiance in kids, as well as delay their neurological function, their cognitive development, and their problem-solving skills. Flame retardants also have been linked to a weakened immune system, thyroid and adrenal gland irregularities, and problems with reproductive organs. So on top of all of these other issues, flame retardants are a known carcinogen and have been linked to an increased risk of thyroid cancer, which is the fastest increasing cancer in the US currently. Phthalates can be found in plastic and vinyl toys, plastic furniture, vinyl flooring, wallpaper, and vinyl blinds. And what we know is that often children's exposure is well over the EPA's allotted safe limit of phthalates. So phthalates have been linked to neurological toxicity in kids, as well as have adverse impacts on neurodevelopment, including a lowered IQ, problems with attention and hyperactivity, and poor social communication. Phthalates also disrupt the endocrine system and can cause issues with their thyroid, immune function, and even the reproductive process. So pesticides can be found in any sort of textile or fabric that you bring into your home, as well as on your shoes. So pesticide exposure has been linked to increased risk of being diagnosed with ADHD, as well as an increased risk of childhood cancers. Pesticides have also been shown to disrupt the body's natural endocrine function, and they have the potential to disrupt natural development in kids and babies. And then polyvinyl chloride. So oftentimes it's referred to as PVC, but polyvinyl chloride is another material that is in so many of our day-to-day items and materials. It can be found in anything from strollers to car seats to window shades, window frames, high chairs, carpet backing, mattress covers, and most plastic or vinyl materials. So PVC has been linked to endocrine disruption that in turn plays a role in childhood obesity. PVC toxins have also been linked to cancer and to neurological toxicity in kids. One of the biggest reasons I want to instill a healthy lifestyle in my kids is that they are creating our future. I don't want my kids to grow up trying to correct habits that I've helped them create. I want my healthy kids to be able to have a lifestyle from the start that is healthy. So as they grow, there's less they need to change when it comes to their environment. And ultimately, they will be creating their own environments to surround themselves and someday their families. So in addition to not only creating healthy habits, I really want them to understand why we do things we do around our home. And I don't want them to just trust every product is safe to use, like I once thought. I want them to use their resources and find out why something is safe to use. That way, as our researchers find out more information and know what even healthier options are, my healthy kids won't have any problem changing their routine, products, or habits because they'll have the why understood. So if your kids are like mine, they may ask you nonstop questions of why. I have actually come to embrace these questions and really explain to my kids the importance of why we use things around the house in terms of products and why we avoid other products. So when I take them shopping with me, it's a great time to verbalize the importance of which product I'm choosing and why I'm avoiding other products. I want my kids to understand these critical thinking parts of a healthy lifestyle instead of just grabbing whatever is cheapest or looks the prettiest. So next time you're making a purchase of a particular cleaning product or food or home item, let your kids know why this is the choice your family has made and what the impact is to them as healthy kids. We really try to avoid plastics in the kitchen, and we are still in the process of removing some plastic from our kitchen in terms of how I pack to-go lunches for my kids. We've been slowly trying to remove plastic snack bags and replace them with healthier options, and we've done a great job so far. We've just got a little bit left to do. And when I started sending snacks in metal containers or silicone bags, I wondered if my kids would complain or to be honest, if they would lose my items at school. And I was actually pleasantly surprised that my kids love taking snacks in fun little containers instead of bags, and we haven't lost anything yet. So with this change, it was a really great time to talk to the kids about why we're switching over, explaining to them why we do things and why some of these things are really important to us and how it can make us healthier. So the idea of less is more. So when we're talking about instilling principles in our healthy kids, the important thing is to make sure that they are more about a healthy lifestyle and less about a short-term goal. So creating a healthy environment at home often means bringing in fewer items in general, and it can be a great way to teach kids that less really is more. And all kids are different in this regards. I have one daughter who is a lover of like tangible things and collects rocks and saves every card and note and has a hard time getting rid of items, whether they're important to her or not. And in contrast, her sister has very little attachment to physical objects. She has just a few special things that she holds on to, but she's willing to part with things when she's done using them. So if you can show your healthy kids how you happily live with less and how freeing that feeling of a healthy lifestyle can be, you'll help instill in them the idea that less stuff truly is a more full life. So using clean and healthy bath products is something that I'm noticing is becoming more and more of an issue in our home as my girls get older and enter these tween years. But we have conversations around the purchases that we make and why we don't necessarily use the same brands that perhaps friends use, or why we may decide not to use something that was passed on to us or given to us that isn't necessarily safe and healthy for our bodies. And then finally, in our fast-paced world, one-time use, throwaway culture, it can be really tricky to teach the principle of reusing, using less, repairing what you have. And we still work on it all the time with our girls. I think our first instinct when something is maybe needing a repair or something isn't as new and shiny as it once was is to just replace it with something new. And we've had to really work on this. And what has helped our family is pointing out examples and positive outcomes from repairing or reusing instead of buying new. One way we've successfully done this is through our craft table. So a lot of craft supplies have ended up being items that were either things we were going to get rid of or throw away, and the kids love getting creative with these and finding new ways to use them. I'm hoping just making this an important principle in everyday life will translate into their future of creating a healthy lifestyle at home by reusing what they already have. So some really easy teaching tactics for your kids are including them in healthy decisions. I think a great way to raise healthy kids and instill a healthy lifestyle in them for the long run is including them in the decisions you make about products and habits as a family. As a family unit, you can talk about why you use some of the things in your home. Soon enough, our kids will be making more and more decisions about their own healthy lifestyle, their habits, their eating habits, their lifestyle choices, and letting them help make family decisions and give their opinion and letting them hear your why can be a really great practice for the future. You can also make it fun. Making healthy lifestyle changes or habits fun for your healthy kids is a great way to make sure the habits stick. Get them involved in the satisfaction of creating a plan and a healthier home. Honestly, for kids, it could be helping you mix up your toxin-free cleaner or helping you swap out plastic and donate it. Kids see the beauty in everyday things that become mundane to us as adults, and so even the smallest things can be made a fun task. Leading by example is my number one best tip. It's like multiplied by 100. Kids are little sponges, and to be honest, they pick up more of our behaviors than our advice. I know my kids follow my example and not necessarily my words. And so the more you pay attention to being intentional with purchases, creating healthy habits, and making sure your home is a low toxin space, the more your healthy kids are going to notice the very present healthy lifestyle in your home. I think this teaching tactic really boils down to being just really intentional with so many areas of your life. Kids see when we're mindlessly going through the motions, and they also see when we're thinking through decisions and talking out the reasoning behind our choices. So why not make your healthy lifestyle goal-oriented? Maybe you have a goal of changing over all your bedding. Maybe creating a goal of being active together as a family. Have a fun reward every week you accomplish these things or every step you take towards the goal. Maybe it's a backyard fire pit night or taking a trip to a local park or a museum, but make goals and get everyone involved in your family's healthy lifestyle, especially when it comes to making changes and creating new habits. So there's so many opportunities to get you and your family involved in healthier habits, and it could be getting involved in a local co-op or helping clean up parks and roads in your community. When kids see other families like theirs, those that prioritize a healthy lifestyle, it helps solidify the healthy habits you're teaching to your kids. You might even invite friends or family to join you in a fun community activity you find. Having friends get involved makes it more fun for your kids, and who knows, maybe your friends will see your healthy lifestyle changes and start their own. And finally, let them be a part of the discussion. So having discussions about a healthy lifestyle in front of your kids can be extremely powerful. Kids pick up on things, and so having these conversations in front of them instead of after they're asleep or while they're playing in another room can really help instill these lifelong ideas and habits. You can even ask your kids questions or opinions and really get them involved in the conversation. I'd also love to invite you to my free training this week, and it's what no one will tell you about creating a healthy home. It's the 3 big mistakes that I see made all the time. It's how you can change them in your home before you start moving forward.
As always, thank you so much for being here. I invited you to my live class that's going on, and the link is in the description below. I'd love for you to sign up. I'd love to see you there. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I am here every single week with ideas and tips on creating an indoor space that truly supports your health and wellness.